Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So ladies and gentlemen, I decided to go ahead and review each of the 5 varieties of nutrient survival foods that come in the singles variety pack. And for those of you, again, that live in Alaska, these are available on Amazon, okay? I've included them in my Amazon storefront to make it easy for you to find. Other than that, if you do want to go ahead and try out the variety pack to see if you like these, I will include the link to Nutrient Survival under the description of this video. I am going to go ahead and start off with the Homestyle Scramble. Now, this video is probably going to take me a couple of days to do because I'm not going to eat all 5 in one day. But it is breakfast time here today, and Homestyle Scramble is their most popular nutrient survival food that they sell. All right, so we're going to start off with this. All we need with this is a half a cup of boiling water. But first, let me go ahead and show you really quick what some of the nutritional informations are. And you can go ahead and pause the video, take a look at these, or you can go to the site to check them out if you like. But as you can see, this is packed with nutrients, vitamins, etc. And as you can see, this is packed with 40 essential nutrients. And all you have to do is add a half a cup of water to this package in order to prepare it. Now, let me show you how I prepare my bowl. I have one of these little vacuum bowls that allows you to keep things hot. And this is where I'm going to prepare this in. So what I do before I actually pour my contents in here, I put some hot water in here to get the inside of this bowl nice and hot before I actually add my contents and then the hot water that I just finished boiling. That way, it doesn't steal away any of the heat that is from the water that you're pouring in there in order to rehydrate the foods. So as you can see here, it's got a little fizz. I should have pushed this first. And let's go ahead and open it up. And as you can see here, this water in here is nice and hot. I'm not sure if you can see the steam. So I'm going to get rid of this water, pour the contents in there, and then pour in my half cup of boiling water. Okay, our bowl is ready now. Let's go ahead and pour the contents in there. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. So there you go. Again, this is the Homestyle Scramble. We're going to put our hot water in there. We're going to give it a little bit of a stir. And now we're going to go ahead and cover it up for at least a good 5 minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually been like 9 minutes. I started doing some dishes and I lost track of time. So let's see what's going on in here. Let's go ahead and push it on. Alright, let's open this up. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on a plate so you can see what it looks like. Let's give it a little stir. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and put it on a plate. Now, I wonder if this could use a little less water. It looks a little mushy, but you know what I say. The taste is in the pudding. So let's give it a try. And this is what it looks like up close. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. That's pretty good. This has about 410 milligrams of sodium in it. And I am ruined, ladies and gentlemen. I have ruined myself. So I'm going to add a little salt. But it doesn't need salt. I'm sure that for the average person, it doesn't need salt. I just like salt. But this tastes very good. You can actually taste the veggies that are in there. Some red peppers. There's eggs in there. There's cheese in there. And, of course, potatoes. And this is actually very tasty. Very tasty. I can see why it's their #1 selling item. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Boy, that really is good. All right. That is very, very good. I can see why it's their #1 selling item. Obviously, I had to give it an extra taste just to make sure before I told you my final verdict, ladies and gentlemen. Outstanding product. I would say that this is really good. All right. The next one is probably going to be sometime around lunchtime or something like that. And I'll probably try the mac and cheese. So the next one that I'm going to try is going to be this mac and cheese, triple mac. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today for dinner, I'm going to have the triple cheese mac. Now, I've already prepped my little pot here. I've got hot water in it so that the insides can get hot. And then we're going to go ahead and put that triple cheese mac in here and prepare it. It calls for 1/3 of water, 1/3 cup of water. However, I like my mac and cheese a little more runny, so I'm going to go ahead and put a half a cup of hot water in there with these. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take a look at all of the nutritional information in these, just go ahead and go to their site. All of the nutritional information for all of their products are in the Nutrient Survival site, and the link to them is in the description of this video, or under the description of this video. All right, so I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and heat up some water so we can put this in there and stir it up. And while the water is heating up, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I have noticed about eating these foods is that for a big guy like me, a small serving like this doesn't look like a lot. But in all honesty, when I had the entree this morning for breakfast, it actually filled me up. I felt satisfied. And I think, now don't quote me on this, I think it's because of all of the nutrients that it has in it. Because I have heard that when your body has all the nutrients that it requires or that it needs, that your body doesn't get hungry as fast. And here we go. Our water's ready. Let's go ahead and put this in there. But the triple cheese mac, as you can see here, has 40 essential nutrients in it. Let me see if you can see that. There you go. 40 essential nutrients. And like I said, all of the nutritional information is on their website. All right, we got our water ready. Let's go ahead and put this in here. It actually looks pretty hearty. Look at that. So what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to put 1/3 of a cup of water in here. Like I said, I like mine a little more runny, so I'm putting 1/2 of a cup. Going to give it a stir. And the instructions do say to make sure that you cover this and that you let it sit for 8 to 10 minutes. So being that it's noodles, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for the latter. And then we'll be back. See what it tastes like. All right, our timer just went off, so let's see what this looks like. Let's let the steam out of there. Oh, it looks pretty good so far. Let's see. I want to make sure that the noodles are pretty well cooked. And they seem to be pretty well cooked. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you don't remember, I added a tiny bit more water to this because I like my mac and cheese a little bit more liquidy. So that's why it is a little more liquid right there. Let's give it a try. Let me see if you can focus in. There you go. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a production crew here. So, I tried my best. There you go. Now let's give it a try. Pretty good. And you know what? It doesn't need any salt or pepper. It's pretty good by itself. I was thinking though, while this was rehydrating, I was like, you know what? How can we make this a little fancier? Ladies and gentlemen, you know I try not to let you down. So we're going to go ahead and fancy this up. Now the texture of this is very good actually. I thought that it was going to need more texture because I thought that the pasta in it was going to be like really mushy, but it's not. It's got good texture. But I already did this. We're going to try it anyways. So during the apocalypse, why not get a little bit fancy? And what I like to do with some of my mac and cheeses that I actually, you know, cook from scratch is I take a few croutons and I crush them up, and I actually just crushed them up in this package. And then I just put it over it. Okay? And all you have to do is go to your Arrow garden, throw a couple tomatoes in there, and I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with that. Now look at what a difference that makes when you just doctor something up just a little bit. Now this looks like a real gourmet meal. I'm going to give this a try just like this. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you make this at home, definitely try adding a little bit of croutons like that to it, because it just makes it so much better. Not saying that it wasn't good on its own. It definitely stands on its own. But boy, that little crunch from the croutons, it just gives it that extra little kick. All right, so this is the triple mac and cheese. In my opinion, it's a winner. Next time, we'll see you all in the morning with some breakfast. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be having the hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal for breakfast. And we're also going to have the chocolate grain crunch. All right, so first we're going to go ahead and pour our oatmeal in a bowl. Because, oh, there it goes. That's my microwave where I just warmed up 1/3 of a cup of water. We're going to pour this in a bowl, add 1/3 cup of water, and then it's supposed to sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. I didn't think it would be too long for this one. That's why I didn't get the little pressurized pot. And as soon as I open that, I can smell apples. Let's see. Yeah, it smells very, very good. So let's go ahead and add our water to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing it per the instructions, but if I was going to be eating this like during normal times, like right now, I would rather add a little bit of milk to it. I think it gives it a richer taste. But I want to show you what it looks like, exactly what it looks like as we do the instructions. So now we'll just give this a little stir. And boy, I can smell the cinnamon. This smells really good. What I would recommend, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're going to try this, I've had this before, a long time ago when they first came out. If you're going to try this for the first time, make sure you do it with an empty palate. And let me show you. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this or not, but if you can, you can always go to the website and they have all this information. This only has 8 grams of sugar. Right? And we all eat a lot of sugar, even though when we don't know that we're eating it, just by eating regular foods. So this is not going to be very sweet. However, what I recommend is that you really taste it, because you can taste the real food in this. All right, so we'll be back with this. Let's go ahead and do our cereal now. And it looks like Rice Krispies. See that? All you have to do is put milk over that. I'm going to put milk over it now, even though I'm going to eat it after the oatmeal, because I like my milk to saturate the cereals. But let me show you something, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you can see this. Remember, I just told you that the oatmeal has about 8 grams of sugar. If you take a look at this has even less. This only has 5 grams of sugar per serving. So Nutrient Survival, I remember talking to Becky a while back, my rep, and she said that all of their products have a limited amount of sugar and sodium in it. It's not a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of milk in this and let it sit. And obviously you can put as much or as little milk as you want. We'll let that sit there for a few. And then let's go ahead and give the oatmeal a try. Should be ready by now. Alright, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like oatmeal, but look, it's got a very nice, rich, full color. Let's give it a taste. I'm pretty excited to try this. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, they must have changed the recipe in this. Because the very first time that I remember having this right here, the oatmeal, hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal, the first time I remember having it, I was like, man, this just needs sugar. But I'll tell you what, this needs absolutely nothing at all. It doesn't need any more sugar or anything. I'd be very interested to go ahead and match this against the very first one that I ever tried when they first came out with it. Because I think that they've added something to it. And as you can see, it doesn't have a lot of sugar. It's only 8 grams of sugar in the package, which is really not bad at all. So this actually tastes very good. I was expecting it to be a little bit bland, but it's not. It's very fulfilling. And I guess I didn't let it sit long enough in the water because some of the little pieces of apples in there are a little crunchy, which I kind of like. So let's give the cereal a try. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that the oatmeal was going to be a little bland from the last time I tasted it. And now it needs absolutely nothing. Let's see how the cereal is. The last time I tasted it, when they first came out with it, it tasted like Rice Krispie. You know, like the Cocoa Krispies? So let's see. And there's nothing special about this, ladies and gentlemen, except that it's good food and it's got nutrients in it. Other than that, it tastes pretty good. That's what it looks like. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. This doesn't look like it's changed at all. It's still very good. But let me tell you what I really like about this. Is that you can really taste the quality ingredients in this. This has a real good chew. Meaning that you have to chew this in order to swallow it. You know, there's quality in here. And you can really taste the cocoa. The cocoa doesn't taste like your cheap chocolate that they put in like the Cocoa Krispies. That's really, really sweet. You can really taste the cocoa. This is like an adult Cocoa Krispies. That's what this is. This is like an adult cocoa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our last one to try. And this is the Southwestern Medley. As you can see on the package here, it says that it has 40 essential nutrients. Now, all we have to do with this one is add a half a cup of water. I've already got my little pot here ready. It's pre-warmed, I guess you can say. And this does look like it brings a good amount of food in it. Take a look at that. I love black beans, so this is going to be a good one. Here's a half a cup of water. So all we have to do is stir it. After we stir it, we'll go ahead and cover it up. And I do believe it says between 8 and 10 minutes, but I'll double check that as soon as we stir it up here and put our lid on. It says that we need to wait, oh no, only 3 to 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes, it should be ready to go. So ladies and gentlemen, I've shared this little kitchen hack with you all before, but it was a really long time ago. And we have a whole bunch of subscribers, so I thought I'd share it again. So you know when your sponge here that you use for your dishwashing, you know when it gets dirty and then you leave it in the sink and then you come back and it stinks? This is a great hack to make sure that your sponge is always sanitized. So as you can see, I put a little bit of soap on there. Then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse it and I'm going to make sure that I activate that soap, right? And there you go. Now that I've got that soap spread throughout the sponge, I've wrung it out with my hands. And now all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, you take this, put it in your microwave for anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds. And when it comes out, it will be sanitized. You won't smell any bad smells in it. It'll be nice and clean for your next use. Let me go ahead and put it in there and show you what it looks like after it comes out. And there you go. Now be careful when you take it out because it's going to be really, really hot. But this sponge right here is nice and fresh. So whenever we do dishes, we take the sponge, we always do that. And then we put it right here. Actually right here, where you can't see it that well. We put it right here or right here for our next use. But that's a way to always make sure that your sponge is nice and fresh and sanitized. All right, let's go see how that Southwest Medley tastes. It's been about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and gas this off. All right, let's open it. Let's see what we got in here. And let's stir it around a little bit. And that's what it looks like. It looks like it still has some texture. It looks like it's got black beans. And these look like they might be kidney beans. Let's give it a taste. That's what it looks like close up. Now that is pretty tasty, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that I would say is that it needs more salt for my palate, right? But remember, Nutrient Survival prides themselves in not using a lot of salt and or sugar on any of their products. So let's see how much sodium this has. It says sodium 550 milligrams, which is really not bad for one serving. So, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I want to go ahead and tell you is that you don't have to eat just this meal. If you take something like this and then you put some blackened chicken, a few tomatoes from your arrow garden or your garden, or even a little salad next to it, this makes a perfect meal right here. Plenty of protein, good amount of carbs, all the vitamins that you really need in a meal. A few tomatoes, you can't go wrong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so which one is my favorite out of the 5 in the variety pack? I have to say that my favorite is the Homestyle Scramble. And I will follow it up with a very close second with the mac and cheese, with this one being third. But this one and the mac and cheese are very close. One thing that I found out the last time that I reviewed these, not reviewed these, but tried them for Nutrient Survival, is that when you take this, the Southwest Medley, and you mix it in with the mac and cheese, it is really good. So if you get some of these, just try that one time, see how you like it. So this would be my third. The fourth, I would have to say, is the Hearty Apple Cinnamon Oatmeal, with fifth coming in for the Rice Krispie or the Chocolate Grain Crunch. And nothing bad about the Rice Krispie. I like to call them Rice Krispies. Nothing bad about those. It's just, I rather eat regular food more than sweeter food. So I really do like the meals that are like entrees and not things that are like sweeter. If you get my drift, I'd rather have 2 servings of real food than to have 1 serving in dessert. Let me put it that way. All right, so other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this. I do have a link down below the description of this video, and there's also a code, which is AP10, which will get you $10 off your first number 10 can. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of your families. This is Last Prepper. I am out.